Greetings, my fellow freedom-loving sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangoes of South Florida. And today's day, Sunday, February 4th, 2018. I know a lot of folks out there are really hyping up and climaxing for the Super Bowl Sunday. So I'm not going to be talking about that because I do see a mass distraction. And don't get me wrong, I'm a sports fan myself, but to me it's entertainment, not a religion. Okay? So, I like to wish two late great men on this day. They're both born on February 4th, 1940 to be exact. My father, Gregory Peter Tote, and George Romero. It was interesting they both were born those dates and from New York. I believe my father was from the Bronx as well, so a lot in common. Okay, well, I'm going to be mainly talking about the leaked memos, which everyone claimed that has something to do with the Russian collision, the Russian ties, and the same old song and dance, which all these Trump haters want to harp on, because that's one thing they talk about. They climb, oh, if we impeach him, we can be free. Put a lid on it. It's a lot bigger than what it is. Okay, so, and you know me, a lot of times I'm real critical of Trump. I was highly critical of him with doing the executive order on Gitmo. That's right. Continuing the war on terror. To even his lackeys in there, in the cabinet, are telling them what to do and when to wipe his behind, allegedly speaking. But remember, it's government. You never trust them. And I even tell that to Trump worshippers as well. You don't trust Donald Trump. You remain vigilant. Plain and simple. Don't watch the idiot box. Don't show me how patriotic the man is. Because right now, the status quo of imperialism continues. And I'm not going to blame it all on him alone, but he letting some of the actions pursue it. That including his teammates and the people in Congress. Like the military-industrial complex, $700 billion budget. Originally it was going to be $1 trillion. Of course, Senator Cotton and Insane McCain were hyping over. So they're indulging pretty well. Their stocks will go up while innocent people get slaughtered. You should be calling them out as well, to all you anti-Trumpsters out there. Because it's a lot bigger than what it is. And I do digress. Okay, well, speaking of Trump, the memo and all that, is from the 10th Amendment Center by Tom McHarry, right? McHarry? Yeah, he's a man from Kentucky. He does great work. I give him a lot of credit. Yeah, Mike McHarry from 10th Amendment Center. And it's entitled, You Are Under Surveillance. A lot of us knew it for a long time, but to all the folks out there, if you think it happened until the new president got sworn in, you're just dreaming dearly. So, as it reads here, yesterday the House Intelligence Committee released a declassified memo relating to surveillance of a Trump advisor prior to the 2016 election. The true significance of the memo has already been lost in the nosy debate over Russian ties to the Trump administration. More importantly, the memo reveals that the U.S. surveillance state operates with virtually no accountability or oversight and serves as a political tool for those in power. Yep, Obama used it, so did George W. Bush, etc. This comes as no surprise to anybody who studies the United States surveillance apparatus. Edward Snowden gave us a peek behind the curtain when he released documents he obtained as an NSA contractor. But the technical nature of the Snowden revelation left most people overwhelmed. It was clear the NSA was overstepping its bounds, but it took a good bit of effort to understand what it all meant. This memo makes several truths about surveillance starkly obvious. The memo says the findings it reports represent a troubling breakdown of legal processes established to protect the American people from abuses related to FISA process, right? This is inherent in the nature of the FISA law. The secret Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court oversees foreign surveillance. In order for agencies such as NSA and the FBI spy on Americans, they must get a warrant from the FISA. But as the memo points out, the court can only base its decision on the information it gets from the agency requesting the warrant. Ultimately, the court depends on complete and honest information from surveillance agencies. The public's confidence in the integrity of the FISA process depends on the court's ability to hold the government to the higher standard, particularly as it relates to surveillance of American citizens. However, the FISA's rigor in protecting the rights of Americans is necessarily depend on the government production to the court of all material and relevant facts. The memo makes it sound like the government and the FISA are two separate entities. In fact, the judges who sit on the court are politically connected lawyers. The FISA doesn't exactly operate as an objective third party. Nevertheless, even if we could trust the FISA as an unbiased, objective body committed to protecting our rights, this entire system of the secret surveillance depends on the honesty and openness of spy agencies. It should come as no surprise that of 2016, the FISA has only denied 51 warrants requests. Ever since its establishment in 1979, 34 of those denials came in a single year, 2016. To put into that perspective, the FISA approved 39,195 requests without modification. Yeah, it's called fast track. That means the court approved 99.998% of the warrant requests. It basically serves as a rubber stamp for the FBI, the DOJ, and the NSA. Yes, God bless the police state. It makes us feel safe. But as long as we got our football, we feel great. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. All right. This memo indicates that material and relevant information was omitted in the original FISA application to surveil an American citizen and in the subsequent applications for renewal. This could certainly explain the court's high approval rate in case of former Trump advisor Carter Page, the FBI, and the DOJ clearly withheld information that would have increased the likelihood of the court rejecting the warrant request. The bulk of the memo is dedicated to making this case. The memo reveals a rogue surveillance state. The safeguards built into the system are fundamentally flawed. The memo makes clear that an extensive U.S. surveillance apparatus is used for political purposes. It's clear that the surveillance state operates with virtually no accountability or oversight. And it's clear that even knowing this House Intelligence Committee allowed these surveillance powers to be renewed and expanded. Last month, Congress reauthorized Section 702 of the FISA Amendments Act, because I should say FISA, not FISA. I always pronounce that. Forgive me. This was the legal framework used to authorize surveillance referenced in the memo. As Andrew Napolitano explained, the FISA created process permits a secret court in Washington to issue general warrants based on the government's need to gather intelligence about national security from foreigners among us. It pretends that the standard is probable cause for a foreign agency, but this has now morphed to the issuance of general warrants whenever the government wants them, along with targeted warrants such as one that authorized the feds to spy on Page. More general FISA warrants authorize government surveillance on all landlines, mobile devices, and desktop computers in a given area. Yes, we're being watched. We're being babysitted. The Mr. French of 1984. Before approving a 6-year extension of Section 702, the House voted to kill an amendment that would have overhauled the surveillance program and addressed some privacy concerns. Provisions in the amendment would have required agents to get warrants in most cases before hunting for and reading Americans' emails and other messages that get swept under the program. In fact, The Section 702 reauthorization actually codified into law broad interpretations of the act that federal spy agencies has concocted in order to expand their surveillance power. What were previously just the opinions of government lawyers used to expand FISA's scope have now become law of the land. Yet, it is another indication we can't count on Congress to limit its spy programs. The memo was available to members of the House Intelligence Committee prior to the vote to reauthorize Section 702. None of this information was made available to Congress at large. 22-member Intelligence Committee decided to sit on it as Congress debated extending and, in fact, expanding FISA authority for 6 more years. News of the memo's existence came out the day after Trump signed the reauthorization into law. How nice, right? This is the real news in the memo, but instead, Americans will focus on political theater and incessant finger-pointing and blame gaming between Democrats and Republicans. If you read it, I believe it's SB 139, but I'll try to get that link on there as soon as possible. It'll tell you all about it. You got folks from all sides in the House and even the Senate voted on it. I live in the state of Florida. Bill Nelson and Marco Rubio voted yes. Why? Because they're bending over Bobs to the state. And dumbed down Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Ted Deutsch, I believe Lincoln Diaz-Balart, and a few others, and Eileen Loss-Lighton voted for the same thing. Eileen, I can say this, and Lincoln Ballart, Fidel Castro would be extremely proud. And there was a claim, too, you're part of that Batista's family. And yeah, even that little clan were dictatorial to innocent people. And I'm not saying anything about how great Fidel Castro was as well. Okay, so let's make that clear. So I will continue on. You will note that the two parties managed to come together to expand the surveillance state. That's telling. God bless the New World Order. Imperialism is the only way. I will proceed. We cannot depend on Congress to rein in the surveillance state. While the Trump administration feigns outrage over Obama's spying, it is almost certainly engaged in the same thing. We are hypocrites. We got the Rucker-Moore syndrome too, and Rosie O'Donnell as well. We can't say nobody ever warned us. In 1975, Senator Frank Rich issued a poignant warning about the surveillance state on NBC Meet the Press, saying it created the potential for total tyranny. If this government ever became a tyranny, if a dictator ever took charge in this country, the technological capacity that the intelligence community has given the government could enable it to impose total tyranny, and there would be no way to fight back. Thank you for reading. Michael Meharry, 10th Amendment Center. I read this off my phone, but don't worry, I will post this on my speaker page, and I will look at that bill too. I think it's SB 139. Well, my friends, more things change, more stay the same, right? Precisely. Because the truth of the matter is, my brothers and sisters, they don't want us. They don't want us to sit around, fight amongst each other like peasants, peons, and all that. Well, sorry, the truth of the matter is, we gotta look at things in a bigger picture. As I'm involved with this group called Revolutionary Alliance, you can find it on Facebook. I'll probably post it on there as well. And don't get me wrong, we have some different views. We have our disagreements. Our debates are honorable. Honorable discussions, that's the way to do it. But one thing for sure, some of these people who are activists, appreciate what I've put out and address. Because we look at things in a bigger picture. We want to think things deep. So I'm going to post their page as well. If you want to check in, that'd be great. The more the merrier. And we try to expand this around the country. Because the fact is this. Doesn't mean whether you're left or right. But we say what's right and wrong. That is the big difference. The war on terror continues to be a conflict with ourselves. Let that sink in. I've been saying it for the past 16 years. When George W. Bush made an announcement in the State of the Union address after 9/11. Alright? Because when they want to fight the true war on terror, you defend, protect our U.S. Bill of Rights culture. You never sacrifice it for security, which is tyranny, and there's no guarantees. Because remember, government in Latin means control of the mind. You watch them like hawks. To protect liberty and freedom, eternal vigilance is the key. And that is it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or maybe something that's interesting you may want to check out, whatever you do, please address your correspondence with decorum. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, Minds.com, FutureNet.club, Patreon.com/LokiLuck3. If you want to be a donor, that'd be awesome. You hit me on Gab, gab.ai, which is more of a free speech version of Twitter. You should always check these guys out, because someone's saying they're going to end the social media, but you know what? It's going to be a long battle. Mark my words. In addition, you can email me at LokiLuck3@gmail.com, or to the encrypted ones, LokiLuck03@protonmail.com. All right. Okay, my friends, that's all for now. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.